You know that feeling when you're just about settled and then boom, you're on the move again. That was my life over and over again and again and again. So I was born in South Africa, a beautiful place full of energy and also full of chaos. We didn't really grow up with much. My mom worked incredibly hard to get us where we are today, and my dad wasn't fully present in my life. There was always this feeling of instability. There was crime, there was all the corruption in South Africa, but we somehow made it work. We always made it work. And as a little kid, I learned that nothing really lasts forever. The people, the comfort, and even the crime in a sense. Well, at least not as much of the crime lasts forever. And at the young age of 14 years old, we made the move to the UK, me, my brother and my mum, and I was super excited at the time, but it was a massive culture shock when we got there. We went from sunny skies about 90% of the year to miserable, moody England about 90% of the year. And Somerset was the first stop on the list. I went to school in Somerset and people would start picking up on my accent, my South African accent. And for some reason, it made me super insecure that people could, hear that I was different. I tried to mimic the British accent every time I spoke to people, and I developed a bit of a stutter. This would turn me into like a super shy, embarrassed little boy because I didn't want people to see that I can't speak English properly. That was one thing that intimidated me as well. Like, everyone was so young and they just knew all these big words, and coming from a country where we speak broken English is what we call it in South Africa.
In the beginning.
Like, it was a bit intimidating. It threw me off a bit and I got embarrassed to speak. So I developed this anxiety. So yeah, I didn't really feel like I belonged there until I made a few good friends and I kind of, built up my confidence a little bit. And yeah, you adapt to these situations. You become a little chameleon and, you just fucking, switch up a color real quick to whatever fits the environment better. And so after Somerset, it was off to Wales and it was off to Dorset, where I got a job at this outdoor activity center called PGL. Yeah, I worked there for 3 years. That place really built my confidence a lot. I met a good, solid bunch of mates out there and they all help with bringing up your confidence. And obviously, when you're leading these outdoor activities, you're having to lead whole groups and all these people are watching you, and that builds your confidence a lot as well. And then Dorset, Weymouth, where I did the outdoor activity stuff. It was then back to Wales for a few years where I had a regular shitty factory job and it was I really didn't enjoy that work. You're just stuck inside doing the night shifts, the evenings, mornings, and it's just horrible work. And then from Wales, it was then down to Cornwall, where I am now. And each place brought new challenges, new jobs, new people, new rules, a whole list of new things to learn. I moved out my mum's house for the first time, so it was just a lot of change. And it was, like, I must admit, some of it's exhausting. It's straining on your mental health. It was also very eye-opening, and it just kind of makes you learn things real quick and grow a lot as a person, and it just builds your character. And that's all it was. It was all of it is just character building. This whole experience of life is always just character building. And yeah, I used to hate being that new kid all the time, that new person all the time, but like I said, I was just building this person that I am today. It forces you to grow fast. I feel like my whole life I've just been growing real quick, maybe a little too much. Sometimes you've got to be stupid. Sometimes you got to be ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. Like, all that moving taught me how to enjoy the little things. It taught me how to read people. It teaches you how to be alone without being lonely. It teaches you how to find the joy in all the little things, because like a lot of these big things for me, they never really lasted. And it gives you grit, it gives you a bit of perspective, and most of all, it makes you adaptable. And now I'm someone who knows how to start over again and again and a fucking again. I'm someone that now knows that identity isn't tied to that childhood bedroom or your postcode or your hobbies. Like certain things with my skating, I've kind of not been doing it as much, but that doesn't define me. as a person. It's all of those life experiences. Although skateboarding was a lot of my life experience, but it's all these other things as well. And it's all built through experience and the chaos of life, and you know, your highs and your lows, your ups and your downs. Like, how can we grow? How can we figure things out if, you know, you've got nothing to figure out, if things aren't going wrong? So yeah, I moved around a lot, and if anything, it's just given me this massive experience of life that I can be appreciative and grateful of. I guess that's exactly what made me the person I am today. And if you ever feel like you don't really have a home, or you're constantly restarting, just know that you're a complex being. You're full of layers, and you are interesting as a person, and it makes us resilient. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys related to any of this in the slightest, drop a comment. Tell me how moving around, moving places has kind of shaped your perspective on things and your outlook on life. And yeah, stick around for more videos. Peace.